Hey, everybody, welcome back to our little part of the galaxy here on Apostate Coalition. Tonight, we are using AI to ask all of life's big questions, but the only resource, the only hang up, the only thing is that it's going to be solely from jw.org as a resource. I cannot wait to see what the answers are. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Dr. Tom Moister. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Hello, good to see you. I'm very excited about tonight. We are going to
learn the truth.
Yes, from the one true source there is. So,
does AI know the truth?
Yes.
Will by the end of this evening, I'm sure.
We'll find out.
Did we ever get a new image generated, by the way? Or
did we ever get a what?
A new image generated, or did we go with the original thumbnail?
It's the original thumbnail because one, you didn't say you wanted a new one, and two, I didn't think of that. But if y'all go look, the thumbnail for this show was generated by ChatGPT with
wow.
a prompt.
Wow. Wow.
Don't tell the artist in the room that.
Oh, I had literally 30 seconds to come up with an idea, a plan, and run and do it and upload it and create the link for the show so that, people would know that we were here tonight.
Tyler says he could have drew something better faster.
Then that will be Tyler's homework for next week to give us a better image. A week is plenty of time.
He has 5 minutes. He has
Y'all don't even come up with the topic. Y'all don't even come up with the topic to 5 minutes before.
Right. So what are you getting onto first?
Hey,
generate something
we're
quick.
doing our best here.
Yeah, y'all, that I dispose the secrets. They're not planning this out. There's no real thought. It's a scramble every time we start. What are we gonna do tonight, guys?
Telling the audience that.
I think our audience isn't stupid. If you're here and you've been here before and you keep coming back,
you saw our chat.
You know.
You
know that this is not planned. Except for when we were actually reading a book where there was chapters and structure. I mean, it was,
yeah.
To be fair,
PDFs.
We did better then, but do you really want us to go back to reading the book? We're gonna have AI do it for us.
This is gonna be so much fun.
You don't have to.
Right. It's going to do the work for us. It's going to answer exactly as the Jehovah's Witnesses would answer, if they could answer, if they know the answer, because sometimes they don't know their own doctrine, quite frankly, because it changes so often. So this is just making it very succinct for us
from Jehovah himself.
Exactly. Jehovah created AI, so he wants this for you.
Isn't AI Jehovah?
Well, I mean,
might be.
I could super go down a rabbit hole on that one, and my ultimate answer is yes, but only if you want to listen to my reasoning.
I mean, I'm down for
Did I do exactly what you wanted me to do, Infidel? Is that what part of this was? It was a test.
We can come back to it. I'll write it down. I will write it down. We'll come back to that later.
I would also just like to disclaimer, yes. I apologize to Tyler Rickshaw for not giving him enough notice to actually create something better. But I will give him the same prompt that I gave the AI and plenty of time for him to come up with his version of it. And I guarantee you, we will all be a better place for having seen it if we are so lucky. So
the thumbnail that he did make was incredible. So, we know that he's very.
Don't butter me up now.
You're so talented, Tyler.
You were gonna do it anyway. He's given me some good feedback every now and then on random ones that I make in like a few seconds.
So if you guys in the comments, if you guys have any questions, let us know. Write them in the comments.
Oh yeah, questions you want us to ask AI with jw.org as the source. We will be.
But we do have some questions already that we've decided that
Somewhat
we want to
thought out.
ask. Yeah, a few. Some of them are gray still, but
You know, it is what it is.
what about you, Tyler, as an outsider? Is there anything in specifically you want to ask?
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Nice
Jehovah
work. Nice work.
2025. My vote is for Jehovah. I need this on a shirt.
Jehovah for 2025. It's almost 2026.
Someone commented, the average person has 2 thumbnails.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think that's probably wrong. It's probably like 1.9. I think more people have lost thumbs than
Well, I
people that have
wasn't
been born with
sure.
extra fingers.
I wasn't sure if it was one of those jokes that makes you do the thing and then you look like an idiot doing the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what thing?
Like on
Thumbs up.
TikTok, a video will come up and it says only 20% of people can do
Oh, we
this,
put.
and
Oh
then
yeah, and
everybody's
they go
looking
like
at it going,
they do like this. They do like this.
oh, yeah, or
Yeah.
right, something silly like that.
Or
Yeah,
just something that you realize you fell for it.
you
Yeah.
fell for it. There you go. Anyhow, off the subject, back to the subject. Back to the subject.
I have, hold on. As you were saying, the other one, the other Tyler Rickshaw.
Yeah, I just
creation.
threw that trash together.
But anyways, back to our regular scheduled program. Back to what we were saying.
Right, back to what we were saying with AI.
Do you have a window to put up on the screen?
You're gonna do it tonight, right?
For ChatGPT? Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
ChatGPT.
a
He's logged in.
ChatGPT account. So that was my disclaimer as well. We're going to be using not mine, but somebody's paid account of ChatGPT, so it can do the images and stuff. So yeah, we can just have fun with it. So yeah, I have a couple of. I mean, I think we have a couple of good topic ideas for what we want to ask, but I just want to make sure. I think you already shared it, but yeah. Okay.
Infidel says, I just heard you talking about thumbnails, so I said something stupid. Stop humoring me.
Well, we had to humor you because stupid things is
Spent like
takes
20
up a
minutes
lot
of the
time
show.
I think it's safe to say we're all probably ADHDers on a spectrum here as we get distracted multiple times. But also, I think, I don't know about you guys, but I guess being raised in a cult maybe has something to do with it. But I often take people literally too much. It's sometimes hard for me to pick up on the joke. And so when he said, talking about thumbnails, yeah, I would.
We know you can't pick up
with that.
I know you can't pick up on the joke. It ain't a mystery here.
But I'm good humored, so if I'm being rude, sorry.
No, we accept you the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
So he says.
Y'all can't be like Jehovah. Perfect.
That's the expectation. And if you fall short, you're a piece of crap.
Well, we're going to ask ChatGPT to basically use the one true source of knowledge to answer our questions tonight. So I have a couple of questions that your concepts of a question, I guess, that I wanted to ask.
Concepts of yeah. Good reference.
But please put things in the chat if you have something you want us to ask it. So starting off, does anybody have a particular question they want to ask?
Anybody in the comments? One of life's big questions you need.
JW.
You need the
people already say stuff.
Come on, tell us. We'll tell you your future.
Well, they've been prophesying for like almost 100 years or whatever now. They still not gotten it right. So I don't know about predictions of the future. Might not be so good.
Well, I think Dan was the first one to ask a question, but I'm just not sure.
Don't know that JW can answer that.
It to what does Jehovah's Witnesses have to say about wearing underwear?
Ooh.
Or
start out just copy and paste in the exact sentence he just wrote.
Should we just do the copy paste the same thing
and just see what it says? We can restart if it's If it's
All
not
right.
getting
All
it.
right. All right.
Because I would love for AI to give a witty answer back, but we'll see.
Well, would you please help me scan the chat for
Oh yes.
it does. Anyway, no. Help me scan the chat for questions. So hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, chat just busts and can't keep up with it, huh?
Shut up, Tyler.
Zorn.
Don't make fun of us. We're in our tiny little corner of the internet. It's okay.
Okay.
It's quiet out
The only
here.
other question I
Hold on,
see
hold
so
on.
far
Doesn't matter.
is, does size matter?
I
Maybe
don't
we
know what
save that
size
for
of
the
what.
end.
The
The size of
galaxy?
your size of your
Right.
face. You have a
Your
big face.
faith. That does
Yeah.
matter.
Size of the galaxy
Hold on.
doesn't matter, but the motion of the galaxy determines the future.
Mm.
Mm.
First question.
What is it?
Magic underwear? Is that what he has?
Sorry.
I'm not really sure. Sorry.
And does it say J-Dubs or I can't see it? I'm typing on the screen, so hold on a second.
Where was it?
Hold on.
How come the Mormons get magic underwear and JWs just have to wear off-the-shelf Hanes?
Oh. Ooh. That's a good question. Would the world be a better place if religion disappeared?
That's a colorful way to put it. Here's the breakdown behind the magic underwear for Mormons, more accurately, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints.
You
And
might
the
have to tell it
differences.
short answers only or something too. But go ahead with
Well, it's
This is
just
short
telling
enough.
us
Oh wait.
the definitions. Let's see. Modesty
Yes.
is key.
Modesty.
Hanes are okay though. Whatever brand you want we're good.
Okay. As long as modesty is the key. No special
Let's
requirements.
see. It says it boils down to a different theology and ritual practices. Mormons have sacred ordinances performed in temples that involve wearing garments as part of a covenant. Jehovah's Witnesses reject most formalized rituals and consider such things unnecessary. Ooh, that does feel nail on head just a bit.
Mhm.
Let's see. What else?
I think we should ask it something about masturbation, of course.
Um,
Well,
Of course, that's where my mind is always at.
Wally wants to know, would the world be a better place if religion disappeared? I don't know what. I doubt the JW.org would have a good answer for that.
We'll see.
Did you tell it? Did you tell it it needs
nope,
to use?
I forgot.
Right.
Wow.
I did. I forgot the one most important prompt.
Oopies.
You need to start the prompt over, don't you?
What's that?
You need to start the entire session over, don't you? Like with like a new thread.
You don't have to if you tell it.
it's-
You can add it in there.
I'm not going to be able to sign back into this password if I accidentally log myself.
I think
out,
he
is all I'm
means just
saying.
start a new window, like click
You,
chat.
you,
conversation.
you don't have to. You can tell it to ignore everything before it.
Oh, gotcha.
You got to put your trust in it, man. You don't trust
I
it.
know. It's just, yeah,
You
we're
don't
having
trust
a
the God's
conversation, right? Oops, I asked the wrong question.
you-
I asked the question wrong.
You don't have faith in it, man.
Maybe just.
I mean, I correct it, but if I don't know, if I have some major thing at the beginning.
Oh yeah, if I'm
only
typing,
use
if
this source.
if I'm doing something and I'm like, I want to keep that previous information, I'll start a new one.
Mm.
You know, thinking of a master plan.
Let's see. Can I ask you a question and you only give me answers sourced only from the Jehovah's Witness published literature and website jdub.org? Yes, you absolutely can. If you'd like an answer sourced only from jdub.org, let me know your question. I'll ensure all information is drawn solely from their publications. And then they list some publications. All right.
Nice. Noise.
When's the world?
Are
gonna
you
go
talking to a
extinct?
robot in the computer?
Yes, I am talking in a robot voice. No, this is just how I talk. Shut up, I am.
Because she is a robot.
I told somebody at work today, look,
That's a
I'm
good
just a robot,
question.
okay? Okay. I would like to ask a question. Did anybody?
Wally has a good one, but
What
if you want to go, you can. But Wally does
wanna
have a
know-
good one.
I do want to know what JW.org currently says about when the world's going to end.
Oh yeah, we could ask it that. Okay, well, ask it this first. Ask it what Wally asked. Are Jehovah's Witnesses uniquely protected by God?
Oh, that's a good question.
And then we can ask it if it has like a prediction date. Oh God, I wonder what it will say about that.
That is a good
I
question.
mean, it's a lot of information for it to take in. Like, how does it do what it does? It
I-
probably just reads from. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I'll be honest, Paul. I have no idea what that
I-
question is even asking.
Same. I really just don't know.
Oh wow, scanned images.
Are we just gonna get pictures of books? Okay. What I don't honestly know what that question is asking. What does that mean?
What
Yeah,
now?
true. I mean, we probably should be more specific. The more specific we are, will be better, I think, for the AR.
I mean, let's see if there's
AI.
an answer. I'm just saying, me personally.
Let me see the question.
I know it's probably terminology within the Jehovah's Witness organization because they make up words to mean things that have meaning and stuff, and that's probably just one of those, which is why I've been out of it so long. I'm like, huh? Oh, what now?
What's the question? What's the question y'all trying to ask?
Are Jehovah's Witnesses uniquely protected by God?
Does God
Like
favor
as a
Jehovah's
protected
Witnesses?
group?
I'm surprised it didn't say yes, but that's the thing. Like you said, that double speak.
Yeah, it does say that according to their official teachings, they do not.
Give me a shorter answer.
All
right,
is that what you're asking?
Just say give me a shorter answer.
Give me a shorter answer. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that God provides spiritual protection, not physical or miraculous safety. This protection through Bible guidance, Holy Spirit, and the support of the congregation is not unique to them, but is available to all who follow Jehovah's ways.
See, I don't know. I don't know that it's really genuinely, because that doesn't even sound right. But even with that spiritual protection, right, that can be manipulated into that spiritual protection means that, things wouldn't be allowed inside of the congregation because, so even, again, manipulation.
It's
the way of Jehovah.
It's not trusted. Sorry, guys. It's unsafe.
Oh, dear.
I was just curious what it would say. All right. I mean, I think it's probably pulled from how they lawyers speak their way through their beliefs that I could believe that this is what it says somewhere. Whether or not that's what the actual individual people believe, is obviously.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how well it's
that there's
pulling
a
the
physical and
information.
miraculous safety upon them. That's, I feel like, taught a lot in the individual congregation level.
What? And when you click the jw.org, it just told you you're not allowed. It's not a allowable website. Is that what?
Oh no, I was just being a jerk. I just was like, oh, it's not verified. It's not trustworthy on my computer.
Oh,
I'm just being a jerk. Hold on a second. It just popped it in a new window. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just snarky today. I would like to ask some questions along the line of like blood transfusions and what the Bible says about blood.
Yeah, I'd like to know too. How well can it shill the JW propaganda?
See, they have an article on divine protection.
Right. Yeah, because
Right.
Wally said he's looking at 10 things. That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure they do. So I'm confused. I just don't know how well and what it reads because it only reads so many things unless you do like a
I
deep
don't know how much.
dive.
There is a deep dive option on
But that
some of
takes
these.
a bit of time too.
I don't know how many sources it can pull from, how quickly.
Yeah.
Well, what is okay? So I'm looking. Yeah, just reading. I just saw this. Okay, so what do we want to ask next?
So did we want to ask if they're predicting any timeline for Armageddon? What is the next predicted?
When will the world end?
Yeah.
When will the world end?
When will this world
Uh,
come to an end?
When will the when will existence as we know it? Oops, damn it, I can't type.
Because when
And
will Armageddon come?
Tell me when the
I
new
can't spell
system is,
either.
damn it. I want new system. I want Panda.
Should
I
have
want
just
to
asked
film
when
the
will the
dog.
world end.
No, it doesn't specify the date and the time existence is it's quoting me when the existence as we know it will end. That's funny. Jehovah's Day. What? They believe the current world system will conclude during Jehovah's Day, a period that begins with the destruction of false religion and accumulates in the war of Armageddon. Are we in the last days?
Yes. We are in the last days, young ladies.
What part of the last days are we in?
Brilliant question.
The final part of the last days. Undoubtedly, the final part of the final part of the last days.
The last
End is
day
near.
of the last.
Man, they got
days.
pictures and everything.
Oh, yeah.
What does it say?
We've been living in the last days since 1914, it says.
Yeah.
1914.
What's it attributing?
A period marked by global upheaval and moral decline. That's when moral decline happened, folks. 1914.
Yeah, that's when it happened. Not before.
That's when gay people were invented, and
Is that when Franz Ferdinand was assassinated?
Maybe that's why.
Ooh,
That's
they
close
got
to that time
timelines. And
We like timelines.
this is it's very helpful. I get it now. Thank you.
I would appreciate a "you are here" on this map.
It said 1914 in the
They ain't got no years on there.
No.
They be making it up as they go. I
They
don't freaking
say-
know.
Are they saying from this distance to this distance is 3.5 years?
From what date?
From present church age to the
so depending on when this come out, this is like 2025 or 2001. So they're saying, so how many years it is before you get to the 3.5? Because if this like whatever year this came out, they're saying the sorrow is but what's from here? This is where they are, but how do you get from here?
You're saying you need a point of reference.
Yeah, like how do you
where you are on this?
Yeah, because they're saying the present church age, and it looks like it's just going to be some time going by, and unless you know the rapture of the church.
Yeah, the only thing we're sure of is apparently 7 years in
so
here.
It's going to be 7 years between. Then you go to then it's going to be the eternal state.
Yeah.
Making this up.
And is this to scale? So like this length of a line is 3.5 years because they do look like the same box size, but the other ones are shorter.
That's a good question.
All right, so I got a question. Did AI mention in its answer the year 1914?
Say what now?
Did AI mention 1914 in its answer?
Yeah, according to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can you
It said
ask it?
last days since 1914.
Can you ask it why is 1914 the beginning of, or phrase that some kind of good way, or what
Let's
happened in
see.
1914 that makes it the beginning of the end times?
What did it say? What are
What makes 1914?
the global upheaval,
Mm.
upheaval and moral decline? Shit. What are
You're
the?
leading way. I just want. Why is 1914?
I know.
You got a computer talking to a computer.
I don't know. Okay. What was your question? What was 1914?
Yeah, what happened? Why is 1914 the beginning of the end? What happened in 1914? It's been 111 years.
Oh, I forgot to read this one. Wars, internal conflicts. Okay. Food shortages, pestilence, earthquake. Okay. Yeah. But those have all been happening. All how has that
Since the beginning of
changed?
time, right?
Hold on. I'm gonna copy this question. Hold on. But how has that changed since beginning of time? I can't spell beginning right.
Me neither.
It's always confusing to me. No,
Excellent question. They directly address this. They acknowledge that wars, disasters have always existed, but they believe the difference lies in the scope, intensity, and convergence of these events. Here's how they explain it. But they're not, he's just quoting it, but none of them are saying past wars or disasters were often regional since 1914. But that can be explained by like the fact that, we invented ways of traveling around the world and we've merged cultures and we've
Right.
met more countries, and that exposes us to more disease and more wars and more fighting and more resources. And now we
Yeah,
have
that's logical.
an artificial intelligence finding all this information for us by just asking it a question that I poorly type on the live on the internet. So.
Yeah. Now the world gets to see that you've just been faking this whole time. You see.
I hate this keyboard, by the way. Anyways, yeah, this isn't a convincing. It's not really all that convincing. Okay,
It's a question in the chat you should ask too.
Okay, let me ask Shane's question. What's the question in the chat?
Wally asked if the Watchtower is a construction company that exploits their members for free labor.
Copy exactly what it says.
That's a good question.
The ask it if part too, or
come on now.
You said exactly.
Yeah, I would say ask it if Watchtower is a construction company that exploits their members for free labor.
I always replace the words ask it if with the word is.
Just say, is Watchtower a construction company that exploits? You can just kind of copy and paste.
Did we get an answer for
I
You might
can't.
not be able to.
They won't let me do it on.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I do, it'll just
Google Gemini lets me.
Watch. Oh, what touch? How do you spell Watchtower? Fuck you guys.
Jeez.
Watchtower. Shit. Wait, you took the question down. I can't see it. Hold on.
I need a jeweler's glass to read.
I got it.
Oh, I'm glad I don't have to type. The pressure is on. You need a keyboard in class.
I don't like this keyboard.
Oh, you sure? It's the keyboard. Oh yeah, those are terrible.
Yeah, just terrible. I need one.
Oh, you need the ones with I like mechanical keys.
Oh, I do too. I can type really fast on my good keyboard.
I believe you.
Hmm
I believe you. You're not proving it tonight, but hey.
I'm doing really good. Actually. That exploits. There, man.
Yeah, that's it. There we go.
For
My spelling sucks, Wally, so don't worry.
There
My
is
spelling is the worst.
There should actually spell THEIR. I don't know which one you spelled.
She put there. She put the right one.
Okay, good.
Is Watchtower a construction company that exploits their members for
What?
labor? Oh wait, I didn't. Hold on. What was the answer?
That's it.
Why is 1914 the beginning of the end? And it just says it's a pivotal. Jesus Christ, ruling King is heaven and last days and system world end.
They made up a number, basically. They made up numbers and
Jehovah's Witnesses interpret the 7 times in Daniel 4 as a prophetic period totaling total competence. Yeah, but didn't other people find like the math also doesn't add up?
yeah, well, no,
correctly,
because
or-
9607 isn't even when it fell. It was 589 or something like
It was
that.
some weird Bible numerology reason.
Yeah,
So
but
because
yeah, so
somebody
they
does-
just made up numbers to make it get to
They
their
regret that.
timeline. That's so they
They
just
regret that they have to double down on that because somebody
Yeah.
did math wrong and they had better information and they can't go back on their word.
I know.
Oh.
Instead of
You know what's
just,
great in
like,
science? If
figuring out.
you make a misinterpretation of something, you can just go, hey, we found new evidence that says it's not like that anymore. So we're sorry, but we're going to do this now.
Well, you can only be a prophet if you're super vague about what you say.
Thanks, Jay.
Right. You can't give too much specifics or then you'll be held accountable to
In the
those
future,
specifics.
there will be a war.
I'm a bit spaced out. Is my stuff going in and out, in and out, in and out?
You sound
Not that I saw, but I'm not. I'm apparently concentrating on typing. All right. Is Watchtower a construction company that exploits
I thought you
labor
said
for
no.
free labor? No, according to
That's the
the
shortest
own
answer.
literature.
Hell no.
Bible says that the Bible is true.
It's not. Look how they put it. Not a construction company.
Not.
And they reject
It is a
any
legal
suggestion that a
entity.
members are exploited for free labor. Here's how they explain it on their official website. The legal entity used by Jehovah's Witness to publish literature. Volunteer work.
Non-profit religious organization. But you know that none of this actually answers the question. Like none of this is evidence that they are not doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go back and ask some of these questions again, not sourcing from the JW org and see
The
what they
World Wide
find.
Web.
How it differs.
Maybe we could just ask it at the end. Let's ask all those same questions again, only not from JW.org.
right.
Wow, you're gonna blow up them. Jeez.
Okay. What was next?
How about we do what do Buddhists believe?
Or what do any other religion believe?
Yeah.
About
One of the reasons I chose Buddhists because I know
I can't spell Buddhist, you guys. It's like,
Don't look
of course,
fast.
I don't know how to spell
it's
it.
probably
Yeah,
just you need a capital
B-U-
B or something. Is it?
It's
Oh,
BUDDHIST.
Whatever. They'll figure it
Oh,
out.
is it? I don't know.
I knew there was an H. They figured it out. Smarter than me.
Yeah.
I knew there was an H, but I didn't know where to put it.
You knew it. If you knew it, it would have been there.
I gambled on it not being there because I
Man.
felt it would be more embarrassing to put it in the wrong place.
You put your faith in the wrong place.
What does
See,
how
with
does
Jehovah,
it
you
say?
wouldn't have had that problem.
Mid-choice.
What do they say?
Buddhists follow the teachings of
Can you say it with less words? No.
known as the Buddha, who lived around 5th century BCE. While there are different schools of Buddhism, the most share core beliefs.
Does this sound like a JW.org answer?
That's a good question.
Did you get that from the JWs? Or do you just make that up?
Jehovah's.
We could tell when you fucking up AI.
We know what you're
You
up
be
to.
nice to it.
They're coming for you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'd be nice AI.
As it is that what Jehovah's Witnesses believe or from an outside source? It's from a neutral educational perspective, not from Jehovah's Witnesses literature. Jehovah's Witnesses view other religions, including Buddhism, through a lens of their interpretation of the Bible. Here's how Jehovah's Witnesses describe Buddhism. Good call. It did seem pretty thoughtful of an answer. The Jehovah's Witness view of Buddhism from jdub.org. Buddhism is seen as a non-Christian religion that does not worship Jehovah or follow the Bible. And Tyler's out. Done.
No. No, what happened was I had read through it and I got to that bottom where it said they encourage Buddhists and people of all faiths to study the Bible to learn about the true God and hope of everlasting life on earth. And as soon as I read that in my head, it was like, ugh. It just sounded ugh.
A Buddhist would say, "Why would you want everlasting life? That's like what we're trying to escape."
Another good question is ask it to define brainwashing.
That is a good question.
Oh, actually, can you just ask him, can I get out? Can I stop being a Jehovah's Witness? See what it say.
Well, it's already not doing it. Is this
Right. See, that's what sometimes AI really does. It just doesn't listen. Like when you say, I want you to do this, it just doesn't listen.
you gotta forgive it. It's pulling from Jehovah's Witness, and
I know.
it's not a lot of. They ain't got a lot of information.
No, but
they got their whole thing is
should
that's the
follow the
whole.
instructions.
If information
Jehovah's
is
Witnesses
like
don't follow
gas,
instructions.
then
Well,
AI's
they
gotta
do,
be
but they
thinking it's
don't.
running on fumes going off of this website.
What you say?
I said if information's like gas,
No,
then
it's
AI is running on fumes going off of this website.
Uh-oh.
What?
I asked, is this how Jehovah's Witnesses believe the definition of brainwashing means? And it pulled from multiple sources, not from jdub.org, including this. Oh no.
Freedom of mind.
Oh no, that doesn't look like an official source.
A shunning tragedy.
Oh no.
Oh,
A
don't.
religious contradiction.
Uh-oh. ChatGPT
That's a
not
prostate.
safe now. Uh-oh.
Have you ever heard of this book? Anybody heard of that book?
Which one?
The last one said written by David Reed.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mind control legacy of
Mind control language of Jehovah's
language.
Witnesses.
Oh,
So
thank you.
the definition in the words.
Interesting. I'll search that on my
I don't think what does data.org.
I know sometimes I think the AI does be getting mad at questions. There's been times where it's like downright refused to ask me, and I've had to like trick it into answering questions like, bitch, you ain't getting away with this.
You better not call AI that.
I'll BRB. I'm gonna get some agwe.
Okay. It gave us 2 options, and
Ryan,
we
you
get
need
to
to
pick which
apologize
one.
to AI.
Yeah, we have 2 options. I asked it, what does jdub.org say about brainwashing? Because it's clearly not. It's struggling to answer my question, which fair. Okay, we've got 2 responses, and you guys we can vote on which.
Jehovah's Witnesses addressed the concept of brainwashing in their literature, particularly in the context of coercive methods used by authoritarian regimes. They describe brainwashing as involving intimidation, imprisonment, torture, and control over information to force individuals to adopt certain beliefs or behaviors. In contrast, Jehovah's Witnesses emphasize that their faith is based on personal study, voluntary commitment. They encourage individuals to examine the Bible and their teachings critically, asserting that their beliefs are adopted through informed choice rather than coercion. Therefore, while acknowledging the existence of brainwashing in certain contexts, Jehovah's Witnesses distinguish their practices by highlighting the voluntary and personal nature of their faith adherence.
So the other one, I was reading. I was reading the other one while you were reading that outline. No, I was listening. I saw it. It looks like an answer from their website. Like it does look like something that
It reads like it too.
it does. It really does. And the other one is kind of like a neutral party explaining it better.
If they ever, but here's the thing about it though, it doesn't suffer from the same problem the book had,
Which is
like weird sentence structures that read
Oh,
weird. Because usually when you're reading something from there, you stumbling
summarized
over,
it
you
with the
stumbling
best
over.
top lines telling
Yeah.
it how
So
to
if
do
they
it.
ever get a hold of using it, it's gonna be even. They're gonna really make people think they're smart.
You just gave me a good idea to ask next. Okay. Okay. The other option says on J.org, you will not find any official article defining brainwashing as applied to Jehovah's Witnesses. Instead, the term appears only in older Watchtower library entries to explain how others have used it. For example, describing how the word was coined during World War II for groups forcing ideas on prisoners, which does match their definition of it being mostly just a physical thing, like involving intimidation, imprisonment, torture. But they do things you can insidiously coerce people, right? It doesn't have to depend. It depends on how you want to look at it. But anyway, I feel like this other one is a little bit more neutral and just kind of pointing it out and summarizing it better. It basically nowhere does JW.org endorse that their teaching methods amount to brainwashing. They consistently present their preaching and Bible study as voluntary based on personal conviction with, quote, molding by God's Spirit, not coercion. God doesn't groom you.
yeah, I would definitely say that brainwashing doesn't have to be through coercion. I don't think it can be totally voluntary. I don't think that's related at all. I think about the video or Darren Brown special where he basically brainwashed someone to assassinate someone, Stephen Fry. That person thought they were doing sports hypnotism for becoming a better
This is Jehovah.
sports shooter.
Repent. Turn from
I
your
think his voice would be even
ways.
deeper.
Jehovah has returned.
Does he have his voice thing on?
It's hard to tell these days.
I know.
You'll never know.
What did we ask the AI? What did I miss?
Oh, it was the same question when you left. It just gave two different responses because it was frustrated. And it was like, well, which one do you think is the better answer for it? But
That's wow that
question
even the
AI.
Jehovah information get AI frustrated.
that's the
It may
room
have.
feels as well.
You think AI is how Borg got started?
Well, the Borg definitely utilizes AI, I'm sure.
On a timeline.
How they get started, probably.
Repent.
I wonder.
We're on the Borg timeline. Is this where the Borg invasion starts?
Yeah, we on the Borg
So the
timeline.
I hate this voice.
Why? Does it
I don't
take you
know.
back?
There's something wrong with it.
What about this one?
It's more
Oh,
comforting to me.
I like that.
Barry
It
White
is-
nailed some sulfur hexafluoride.
Oh, yeah. It is comforting. Like it's wrapping itself around you.
Yes. Wrap your voice around us.
Mhm. Envelop me with your vocal cords.
I've asked someone that before.
Swallow me into your gullet.
Okay. I asked a question.
Oh,
There we go. Hold on.
pretty hot. Not gonna lie.
Am I back, voice? Yeah, there we go.
Let's see.
I don't like that voice.
Y'all will know one day. One day you'll stand in the great hall.
Oh, holy,
You'll be
holy,
so-
holy. Everything he does is good. God is
What
great.
questions
Holy,
did we
holy, holy.
ask now?
The Great Hall. The Great Hall. Yep.
Okay, so what reading level is it? Okay, yes, this is the
Okay.
one I wanted to know too.
But Tyler's having way too much fun over there.
See,
The question asked was, please review the published literature of the Jehovah's Witnesses and determine what grade reading level it is written at. The response is Jehovah's Witnesses have progressively simplified the reading level of their publications over the decades to make their material more accessible to a broader audience. What do you mean by broader? Reading level of Jehovah's Witnesses publications. An analysis conducted by a former member using the Flesch-Kincaid readability test revealed that in 1970s, the Watchtower magazine articles averaged a 10th grade reading level for the 1970s. For whatever that means, I don't know.
Right.
Probably better than now. Just kidding. I have no idea.
Yeah, true.
By 2015, the reading level had decreased to approximately to a 6th grade reading
Okay,
level.
grade.
Oh. Tyler was
Uh,
closer in his guess.
yeah.
earlier.
I said
This-
fifth
But
grade.
that was
Oh,
2015.
I got you.
so it's on a 6th grade level.
Yep.
That's what it says.
I thought
Mhm.
3rd grade.
Let's see.
Well, you know, it
Maybe
depends
I
on
was
what
just
it
I was a
all
super
depends.
smart 3rd grader.
But it depends on what you mean 6th grade level. Are they doing good in 6th grade?
I mean, like, you can
Uh,
read short young adult novels in 6th grade.
I
Yeah.
love. Never mind.
I liked reading in 6th grade.
Yeah, I remember this. Okay,
Mhm.
so
You
while
read
Jehovah's
normally.
That'll be
Witnesses,
interesting to do a video on.
JDubs
Reading
don't
in the 6th grade.
publicly disclose readability scores. Their publications emphasize the value of regular reading. For instance, a 1983 Watchtower article shared an experience of a reader who, after years of studying their literature, achieved a reading comprehension level equivalent to a fourth-year college student on a standardized test. This anecdote
I
is
heard.
used to highlight the educational benefits of their materials. And I tell you, people, I remember bragging to somebody at some point saying that if I read these, then it's the equivalent of a college education.
Same.
No way.
And
Same.
I went to college. Oh my god. It was so humiliating.
I thought I was
Whenever
smart.
these
That
Watchtower
girl went to
versions,
college.
that's
She
just
thought
as
she was a
good.
genius.
I'm
I am
dumb.
Jehovah now.
I'm dumbed down from reading all their publications. Is what really happened.
Oh,
I'd have been better
man.
off not
Oh man.
reading them.
Oh man, I can't believe y'all was doing that. That's hilarious. Man, I thought y'all was having a good time over there.
Some of them are kind of having a good time, but most of them just
Yeah, they actually
cotton.
tried back then. They don't try now.
So they better try harder.
Let's see. 1 second.
What are we gonna ask the overlords? What are we gonna ask the
Oh, I
overlords?
wanted to.
What's the recruiting level of Jehovah Witness every year?
Oh, like how many members do they recruit every year?
Yeah.
I think I thought it was like negligible because they lose so many every year.
Because they don't be in no spaces. They don't even bother people as much as they used to.
A lot of their, I mean, they still do door to door, but they do a lot of cart witnessing now as well.
So they just stand by that cart.
Mhm.
I told y'all they'd be at the zoo.
That's
It-
an easy gig, man. I'm jealous. I
Yeah,
didn't
because
do that.
this is them at the zoo standing in front. Here go everybody else. Just going all around and nobody's engaging with them.
I love when
Okay,
you
yeah,
talk about Jehovah's Witnesses at the zoo. Like, I mean, it makes me feel like they're an exhibit because
they
are.
pretty much are
yeah,
the human zoo.
you just have to look at them from a distance, or they will approach you, and they are not safe.
Oh, man,
They will
I
not
can't
harm you
believe it.
immediately, but they'll harm you slowly over time.
I'm surprised they don't have like a little ankle bracelet that connects them to the cart. Like they can only go so far away from the
Mm.
cart.
They just saying baptisms.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think Jehovah's Witnesses only count it really if you're baptized on some degree.
They
Depends on who you
like
are, though.
publishers, but yeah, I mean, this is really a good.
I just
That's a
find
good
like
point.
it just seems like I wonder how many of those are from people that's already like from a family line of Jehovah Witness
That's-
versus
Yeah,
just a random person.
these aren't necessarily new.
Yeah, I'm talking about
from
like are
Bible.
these
Yeah, like
I'm talking about
we
how many
need to
people have
find out
they
from
how many
Bible
people have they
studies
how many
about
people
this.
have they convinced
Right.
not like just standing outside. How many
I know that it takes thousands of hours to bring one person in. I think it's like 10,000 hours of going door to door.
and
Somebody in
how accurate are those numbers of baptism anyway?
I mean, they might be. Who knows how much they lie? Might be accurate.
Is that 2020 that they lost?
It is. It is 1977, 78, a little bit of 80, which makes sense. And then 2020 is the next one below.
That one
Do
makes
we
sense.
know what important events have occurred on those dates that would make their levels drop significantly?
I was born
That's-
yesterday. As far
That's
as
funny. We have the
wait,
prediction.
What was the first 2 years again?
They're
Stay alive to 75. That's when it dips
Yeah.
there. 76,
Yeah,
78,
yeah,
and then it dipped in 2020 with the
yeah.
COVID.
Which, while they didn't say it directly, I think the implication that this could be it, guys. Every day is that we're on the last of the last days. So something like a global pandemic of which we've not seen in our living generation. Yeah, I would be like, oh my God, this is it. And then it didn't happen. I mean,
It did happen.
a lot of
Mhm.
people died, so
It did
that's
happen.
no
It's just like the
Armageddon,
movie
that's
6th
real.
Sense. It's like the movie 6th Sense. We don't know it. We're dead.
Lost.
Oh yeah,
Maybe?
No, 6th Sense.
we're all dead.
Yeah. We're all dead.
You just don't realize it.
Yeah,
We
I
might
feel like
be.
I'm dead.
Jehovah is the only way to true life.
Meh.
Man, that sounds ooh. I felt Jehovah a
Is
little bit when I said that.
Jehovah the one true God?
Maybe.
I'd be fine with it. No, actually,
I am.
Jehovah.
What was your phrase? Can you say it shorter, or what did you?
Say,
Make it
give me a
shorter.
short
Give
answer
me a
there,
shorter
man.
answer.
Come on.
Give
Stop
me
playing
a
around.
shorter answer. Yes.
Why are you playing so many games?
Yeah, long stuff.
What will happen to everyone
Oh,
in the world
Who don't believe in
is
Jehovah?
not
Those
worshiping
sisters are wearing slacks. I appreciate that information.
true. Oops, what's that?
I appreciate him including the information that both sisters were wearing slacks. It's interesting to know that they're all taking advantage of the new.
Oh, I would be for
Mhm.
certain. I'd be taking advantage of the fact that you can wear.
Oh, I certainly would wear pants and not engage in a conversation with men out in Surface. That's not. I didn't know that at all. No offense to any of them, but nope. Nope.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Better not put no slacks on.
Okay, what will happen to everyone else in the world who is not worshiping the one true God, Jehovah? According to Jehovah's Witnesses, salvation is available to all who exercise faith in Jesus Christ and live according to God's standards. Regardless of their religious affiliation. I'm sorry. Regardless of their religious affiliation, all those who exercise faith in Jesus and live according to God's standards will be saved.
Yeah, this is just not even. It's not it.
Sound
This
like
ain't it. Because regardless of their religious affiliation, should not be part of that equation. Does not go with.
Right. They believe that at Armageddon, God will judge individuals based on their actions and faith, not merely their association with a particular religion.
Oh, see, come on
Then
now.
where do you go if
Hmm.
you're not where do you go if Jesus don't want you? Ask that.
Where do you go if Jesus don't want you?
Yeah,
This
ask
feels
that.
contradictory.
Hey, type it in. Type it in.
Wait, what am I asking?
Where do you go?
Where
if
do you
Jesus don't
go
want
if
you?
Jesus don't want you?
Oh.
Yo, you give it a show. What they're gonna say? You just go on the ground. You stay dead.
According to Jehovah's Witnesses' teaching, if someone ultimately rejects Jesus and God's guidance, they believe that person will face eternal destruction, not hellfire, but complete non-existence.
Oh my
I
goodness,
feel-
I'm about to be a Jehovah Witness.
But if you believe, then you're not going to go to non-existence. You understand that, right? It's only the non-believers and those who reject Jesus will.
But I'm
fade
gonna
into
reject.
non-existence.
I'm gonna accept their religion as the truth, but I'm gonna reject
But
it.
reject it so that you
Yeah.
can go into. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can also just cut out the.
No, I'm
middleman
just gonna be in the
reject it.
church and I'm just gonna be rejecting it. Yo, Jehovah, I'm gonna have to go exclusively after their God.
I reject you.
He sees through this and knows that you really
Well,
believe
you know,
it.
this is-
And you will get to
Jehovah-
live forever anyway.
I want some of that sweet, complete non-existence. That's the heaven right there.
that separation, right? What they
Yeah.
call hell, that separation from God is actually heaven.
Oh man.
You ain't got to hear about that shit no more. That is heaven.
Oh
On
man,
earth.
that'd be great.
Off earth, on earth, whatever.
What is it, Jesus?
Pardon my
Don't be contagious.
yawning. Sorry,
Two.
folks.
Non-existence or
Mm.
Hmm?
what? Ents? Am I spelling it wrong?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Or what is it? What are they supposed to? Or accept Jesus and live forever.
As a
With
brain dead zombie.
no end in sight and what is it? Infinite.
I don't like infinite things.
Right.
And
Infinite worship of a evil god.
I might get having a stroke.
Oh, who cares? It knows what you're doing. Who cares?
You just gotta trust in it, man.
The unending worship of someone who believes you are less worthy than them. Okay, sorry. It's a long question. I like being super specific with AI because it's more fun that way. What seems worse, rejecting Jesus and slip into non-existence, or accept Jesus and live forever with no end in sight and infinitely unending worship of someone who believes you are less worth than them? That's a deep and honest question, and one that touches on the emotional and philosophical tension behind many religious beliefs. Let's break that down from Jehovah's Witnesses' perspective and then briefly acknowledge the broader human reflection you're raising. Okay. Jehovah's Witnesses do not portray eternal life as an endless worship service or a heaven where you sing forever. Instead, they teach that those who accept Jesus and do God's will can live forever on a paradise earth with meaningful work, family, exploration, peace, and a personal relationship with God. It still sounds like somebody who's got all the control.
I almost said ill again.
Worship is part of life, but not in a burdensome or mindless way. It describes more like living in harmony with God's will, which they believe brings joy and freedom. Serving Jehovah is not slavery. It is the path to the most fulfilling, meaningful life possible. The best life ever, guys.
Best life ever.
Mm,
Big L.
Are we gonna ask it if it's God?
What's that?
Who's a
We're gonna
better
ask it-
God,
are we gonna
AI
ask
or
AI
Jehovah?
if it's Jehovah?
Sorry, I hit then I forgot to scroll to the end.
How big is Jesus' hand holes?
Ooh. Why you
uh,
want to know that? You got some perverted shit you're thinking about?
Just
yeah, he
curious.
does.
Mhm.
Just curious.
Put your fingers in my hand holes.
I ain't gonna put my finger in there.
Wiggle it around.
Put something else in.
What does the Bible say about blood transfusions?
Yeah, use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Sorry,
Congratulations.
I would like to ask it this question, not
Probably gonna
searching
say
only
this is nothing.
Jada.org. The
Yeah.
Bible does not explicitly mention blood transfusions. As such, medical procedures were not known in biblical times. However, Jehovah's Witnesses interpret certain scriptures as prohibiting the acceptance of blood transfusions. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Searching, let's see. The rest of the internet. And what do other scholars believe the Bible
I argue with AI as well.
says
It's
about?
gonna remember you.
Oh, it probably will. It's coming for me.
Sorry. I don't see if it'll do it. I said, search the rest of the internet. And what do other scholars believe the Bible says about blood transfusions? It also says the Bible does not explicitly mention it. However, interpretations vary among Christian denominations regarding application of Bible teachings to modern medical practices. And then it gives the Jehovah's Witness one. Most other Christian denominations do not interpret these scriptures as prohibiting
Nope.
blood transfusions. Satan, that'd be Satan.
Jehovah's Witnesses want to be different. They want to be contrary.
Blood were dietary laws specific to ancient Israel and not applicable to medical procedures because they didn't exist.
Not applicable.
Yeah, kind of feel like that makes more sense. Let's see, medical and ethical considerations, blah blah blah. All right, well, that wasn't as thrilling, I guess, as I thought it would be.
Shucks.
Yeah. Alternative methods. Let's see. Developed alternative methods to respect. Let's see. What are the alternative methods to getting a blood transfusion, and how often are they successful? Oh, compared to getting blood. To I love asking it specific stuff. Let's see. As several effective alternative methods to blood transfusions referred to as bloodless medicine, particularly important for Jehovah's Witnesses. I forgot to ask it which sources it's got. So, Wikipedia. Okay, got it. All right, alternatives to blood transfusions. We've got ESAs, erythropoietins, EPO, blood doping. Takes a while though.
Wait, yeah. What's blood doping? That sounds good.
But this erythropoiesis stimulating agents. They are molecules that are specifically going to target your body to stimulate your bone marrow to make more precursors of your red blood cells.
So you're not doping up my blood. You're not putting dope in my blood.
You're not putting dope in the blood.
I don't want to.
For bicyclists, apparently it's dope. For people who are trying to improve their performance,
Right.
for carrying more oxygen capacity to your lungs and therefore being able to cellular respire at a much higher rate, and then therefore having a higher metabolism is competitive edge, but dangerous. Because it's very risky, and when you make too many red blood cells, bad things happen. When you don't make enough red blood cells, bad things happen. It's a system. Iron therapy, also just giving your body iron that you have to uptake into your body, store, and then pull out and use to make red blood cells. It works to take iron therapy if you're also trying to stimulate your red blood cells and make more, right? Because then you'll need more product to make more things. But again, takes time. Cell salvage. I think that's when they suck it
Centrifuge.
up from after bleeding out of your body and then trying to filter it and put it back in your body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Hemostatic agents, just things to try and make you clot faster. But guess what happens when you do that? Sometimes you throw clots other places, and then you have the problem of having blood clots in your body.
No bueno.
Volume expanders, those crystalloids, colloids, they're just things that attract water molecules and therefore fill your blood vessels with more fluid. So as your heart is pumping, it has something to pump, basically, and dilute. And, like if you're going to pump a bunch of drugs into your veins, but your heart's not pumping, a lot of good that does. And if you don't have enough fluid to actually fill the pipes, a lot of good that does, right? So all it is a pipe filler.
Gotta fill those pipes, man.
It doesn't carry any oxygen with it. Can't do any of the things that blood cells can do.
Right.
So eventually it's just water.
Only good for so much.
So only good for so long for certain situations. Minimally invasive surgical techniques. I think they're just talking about things to reduce bleeding, like
right. I mean, of course you're going to do laparoscopic if you can.
Right. Requires you not to have to be opened quite so much to perform.
Right.
Sure. And artificial oxygen carriers. This is not a thing that's practiced in healthcare that I'm aware of, because I think, as it says, experimental, not ready for mass use. So maybe someday, but also maybe someday we'll get transporters and food replicators, and
they could just transport the blood into you.
It's still somebody else's blood.
Like when they transport the baby out of like the pregnant lady, they can just transport blood into you and out of you.
Oh, abortions would be so easy.
Transport this fucking thing out of me.
Gone. I don't know where it is. All right. Let's see.
Must
imagine what that do for like a tumor.
Yeah, just transport that cancerous tumor out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If it's solid. Let's see. Success rates compared. Studies have shown that with proper planning and implementation, bloodless medicine can achieve outcomes comparable to or even better than. Better than just being that sometimes people do have reactions, so there's always the risk that the wrong blood gets infused or something. But they have serious workflows to prevent that these days. But you can't always gauge who'll have an allergic reaction, sort of just reacting to the blood. But they have meds to cope with that as well. Mortality rates. Study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that Jehovah's Witness patients undergo cardiac surgery without transfusions had similar or lower mortality rates compared to patients who received blood transfusions. I would really like to go and look at this article simply because what was the exclusion criteria for the patient population chosen? So what that means is they screen people for these kinds of serious surgeries and things. And so if somebody is going to be high risk to die on the surgery table, they're probably less likely to do it. And I'm sure they have a criteria even for people trying to do bloodless surgeries.
Right.
So it's a skewed sample to start with. But if you meet the perfect cherry-picked situation and all the stars align, you may survive.
Right.
Or you may get the surgery, I should say. Complication rates. Research indicates that patients managed with blood conservation techniques experience fewer complications, such as infections and thrombotic events. So if people take very good care in the surgical procedure that they're doing, that people have less bleeding events, that I can believe.
Mm-hmm.
As we get better with more technology like robots and things that can almost be computer programmed to do at more higher precision than what a human hand could cut at, then I would imagine there's just in general going to be less surgeries performed that need blood transfusions.
That's what Jehovah's Witness holding out on. They knew the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, that's all they were doing.
Hold on to your
They're just
blood.
preparing for the future.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. What did I ask? What was the original question here? Oh, what are the alternatives and how do they compare? Yeah. Oh, we really care about people's autonomy. Anyways, what other questions do we got?
There was a question, ask it to define what a cult is, and then follow with are Jehovah's Witnesses a cult?
Do you want me to specifically specify it go to JW.org only to answer the question, or would you like me to keep it on the web?
I want to see just only what JW.org says about what
Okay.
is a cult.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What is their definition of a cult?
And then I think I need to go to Betty Bye.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. I mean, of course you guys can keep going. My ass can't do it.
No, we're all going to
What was
bed.
the will you pop it back up again? Sorry, I want to.
Oh, no, that's okay. Ask it to define what a cult is, and then follow it with are Jehovah's Witnesses a cult?
We already know the answer. I mean, we know what they're going to say, right? It's almost boring and predictable at some point. According to the Bible is true. According to Jehovah's Witnesses, they are not a cult. Oh, did we need to keep going? I'm sorry. They describe themselves as Christians striving to follow the teaching and example of Jesus Christ through whatever means possible. Jehovah's Witnesses acknowledge that the term cult can have various meanings. They address two common perceptions. A new or unorthodox religion. They assert that their beliefs are based on the Bible and align with practices of first century Christians. A dangerous sect with a human leader. They emphasize that they do not follow any human leader, liar, but recognize that Jesus Christ is their leader, not human, but human kind of sort of. I feel like that is so not true. Let's see. Reasons they say they're not a cult.
They don't follow a leader, they just follow several leaders.
Their teachings are based on the Bible, and the Bible says it's true. No. And they claim to emulate the early Christian congregation. They do not have a single human leader. Instead, they follow the guidance of a collective, Borg.
That's not an answer. That does not mean that a group of people can't lead a cult. These are not answers.
Obvious. Like, what is actually the number of people that you need to not be a cult?
Right.
What's that number?
Right. What's the magic number, and where do you get that number from, please? I'd like to know.
What was that, Top Stopper?
However many people were at Jonestown, it's that plus one.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Good answer.
Well, they're not a cult because Jehovah's Witnesses engage in various community services, such as disaster relief efforts to their own people, but not really, and literacy
answer
at a 6th grade reading level, reflecting their commitment to positive societal contributions. Obviously, that is why they're not a cult.
How come you're not a cult? Because our teachings are based on the Bible. Okay, and some cults' teachings are based on the Bible. Okay. Well, we don't have a single human leader. Okay, there's cults that have more than one leader. Well, we do community service. I'm sure other cults have done community service,
Jonestown did community service
right? Like,
and took the community with it.
and your point is that's so funny that I think I need to do a video on that. What a terrible answer that was. We're not a cult.
We're definitely not a cult. I promise you, we're not a cult.
All organized religions are freaking cults, man.
You still
Suck it
be-
up, Buttercup, a cup, and admit it.
Yeah, just gotta be in the biggest one so it don't be weird.
Exactly.
The more people,
Being
the
a
less.
Catholic ain't weird at all.
Yeah, they don't notice it. When everybody around you is like, oh yeah. Oop.
Yeah, they're not a cult because the governing body says they're not a cult.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it sound even more. That may sound even more culty. We're a cult because we said we're not a cult.
Yeah, so you say.
I'm asking ChatGPT. Do you think that someone isn't in a cult just because they say it is so? No, simply saying we're not in a cult doesn't automatically make it true. Just like saying we are the truth does not provide truthfulness. Whether a group is considered a cult depends on behavior and structure, not self-description.
Right.
How cult experts evaluate groups. Scholars, psychologists, and former members often use criteria. This is clearly not from jdub.org. Authoritarian leadership. Demand for absolute loyalty, control over information, isolation from outsiders, punishment of dissent or questioning. Okay. Sounds bad. You guys.
No bueno. It's looking like a cult. It's quacking like a duck.
Many mainstream religions, Jehovah's Witnesses strongly reject the label. Whether a group is a cult, blah, 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 blah. If you're wrestling with that question, it's smart to look at multiple perspectives. Bottom line. Do you think Jehovah's
Methinks the answer is yes, but I wonder what the AI would say.
are in a cult? And well, I'll just say witnesses.
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 Whip.
I don't hold opinions, but I can give you a balanced, evidence-based answer. Fair. Appreciate it. Why some scholars and critics say yes. Bottom line, that's all I care about. Whether these businesses are a cult depends on your definition of the term. If cult means dangerous, mind-controlling sect, some argue yes, based on strict control and social consequences. If cult simply means a devoted religious group that's different from the mainstream, they might fit that societal definition, but are not illegal or overly harmful in the way the way many destructive cults are.
Define overly harmful. Define.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You could be in a
Both definitions of cult, it's like, yeah, it might be this one. And for this definition of cult, yeah, it also might be one.
If they hid and
It's like you gotta be the Jim Jones in order to be considered destructive. Like,
yeah, because I think his cult gets a bad. I think the word cult has such a bad taste in people's mouth. They
Right.
don't understand. Like, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be doing bad things to be in a cult.
yeah.
But you're
like
still a
they're-
cult. You're a cult. It's not
No,
necessarily
exactly.
bad, but they're definitely not a good one.
Mhm. Like that's the opposite end. That's like the polar and the extreme of a cult.
Like we're in a cult right now.
Us right here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, cool. Who's the leader?
Me.
See,
Why would everyone need to have sex with me?
I agree. Who's the leader, though? I
Yeah,
need
see,
to
we're
know.
not hurting it. Our
It's
quote
probably
isn't
Dr.
hurting
Time
anybody.
Waster, actually, is
Okay.
actually the leader.
Dr. Time Waster, you're the leader.
What of the cult?
Yeah.
I asked it, do you think Jehovah's Witnesses are better categorized as a high controlling religion? Yes, many experts, including religious scholars, categorize them as a high controlling religion rather than using the more loaded term cult.
Loaded. So loaded.
High controlling religion, blah, blah, blah. Why do Jehovah's Witnesses fit this? They have centralized authority. The governing body is the centralized authority. Shunning, restricted information, group exclusivity, and thought regulation. Labeling Jehovah's Witnesses a high control religion is supported by evidence and expert consensus. It's more precise and respectful term than cult, and it because we want to be respectful of the high controlling religion.
Gotta be respectful of the cult, y'all. Don't other them. Don't do what they do to you. You don't want to other them, even though they other you, and don't think that you should exist. But you know, fucking A, man.
See, I think it says that they do shun. Because I saw the question, ask if the J-Dubs shun.
Okay, so ask it to answer from the
Yeah.
library, does it? Shun. Do they shun?
Regarding shunning, since we're such
Now that
casual
you
buddies now,
The devil. The old devil.
does the evidence that I want to ask this question after it. Regarding shunning, do Jehovah's Witnesses have any response to that claim? Listen. It's searching. We went to their website, and why, yes. Jehovah's Witnesses acknowledge and provide a rationale for their practice of shunning, which they refer to as disfellowshipping. This practice involves limiting or ceasing association with individuals who deem to have committed a serious, egregious, unforgivable disassociation. No,
person, demon of a person. Hey, at least this one's answer and it said is honest. Excuse me, and says yes.
He knows the truth.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, honestly,
Hallelujah.
they want to relabel it, right? Because they don't want to use the term shunning. I haven't
Removed.
the word disfellowshipped as well.
Yeah, it's going to be removed.
Yeah, and it's going to be what? What's the different word, but essentially the same exact meaning? Do we
What do
know?
you mean removed?
Oh, removed. Is that the?
Yeah.
It's been removed. Deleted.
Yeah,
Is that a little too harsh? Deleted.
probably a little too harsh for them, but essentially,
Well,
Well.
exactly what it is.
yeah. Well,
Don't know you anymore.
like 10:30.
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh,
Indeed.
it's time. It's time for. Well, is there any final things we want to say?
Well, we can
AI.
continue this next week if you want. Ask it some more now that we kind of know how it responds. Maybe we can look at our-
There's a couple of follow-up questions I think we're missing out on too, because I think we could ask it to clarify or go back and now compare that to sources outside of, jdub.org and stuff like that. So I think we could.
True.
I think we
The
can have
truth.
fun.
Jada,
Yes, thank you.
thetruth.org.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody in the audience who joined us tonight. Now that we're kind of trying to get back into the swing of things, just want to say good night to Alora, to Wally at JW Thoughts, and make sure you're subscribed to both of those channels as well. They make content. Emily, we appreciate you coming. Call to talk. Hello. Content, right? You make content. Yes, please. Jay,
As always.
and D,
As always.
as always, y'all are the best. We appreciate you, and join us next week. And if I miss anybody, My apologies.
Yeah. And if you have any other suggestions of questions we might want to ask, I think we could do this again. This is fun.
Come prepared next week. What
As
does
prepared as we
all-knowing
are.
AI?
More AI based
Yeah.
episodes in the future.
I mean, it's the wave of the future.
Space.
We might as well all learn it.
Yep.
We might as well tell our overlords how much we love them.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll take care of us in the new system, the new AI system when we
New
get
AI
uploaded.
system.
All right, y'all.
There's an
See you
extra
next
on that,
week.
by the way.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, there we go.